full name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Caitlin Caneiro, Caneiro.
All right, thank you. Ms. Passalone, when you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
Can you please introduce yourself to the jury and explain your relationship to Mr. Paul Caneiro?
Yeah, I'm Katie Caneiro, and I'm Paul Caneiro's oldest daughter.
And are you currently employed?
Yeah, I'm an ER nurse at a local hospital.
And who else is in your immediate family?
It's me, my mom Susan, and my sister Marissa.
And is your mom Susan and your dad Paul, are they still married?
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit more about who else is in your family. Outside of your immediate family, which members of your family were you closest with?
My Aunt Jen, my Uncle Keith, and their kids Jesse and Sophia.
And your Uncle Keith is your dad's brother?
Yeah, he's his younger brother.
And younger by how much?
About a year.
So, in addition to Keith being your dad's brother, is there another brother or another uncle that you have?
Yeah, Corey Caneiro.
And who was Corey married to back in November of 2018?
Elisa Bertacci Caneiro.
Okay. And for approximately how long were they together for?
Objection. Relevance.
Just how long she's known her, Judge?
Yeah, it's not really relevant, but go ahead.
My whole life.
Okay.
Now, I want to focus a little more closely on the family dynamics. You mentioned that you were closest to your Uncle Keith and his family. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I looked at my Aunt Jen and my Uncle Keith as like second parents. Growing up, we did everything together, and it wasn't really like an extended family. It was one big family, I guess you would say. So when I was younger, we would go on vacations about once a year together, whether it was Disney World or Mexico or Puerto Rico. And then as I got older, I got my license, so I was able to like go to their house more and visit my cousins, which was nice. But as I got even older, like after 21, we would go to happy hour together, out to dinner and everything. But we spent so much time together, I would see them all the time.
Did you spend holidays together?
Oh yeah, we spent every holiday, whether it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We did Greek Easter every year. So every holiday we spent together.
What about birthdays?
Birthdays, yeah, my whole life. Whether it was my birthday, my sister's, the kids' parties, or family event, like birthday parties, but all 8 of us would get together and celebrate.
And how often would you personally see them on average?
At least once a week.
Katie, I'm going to approach you with what's been previously marked as D1-424 through D1-430. If I may approach.
Okay.
Katie, I'm showing you what's been marked as D1-424. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
Is that a family photo?
Yeah, we were in Mexico.
Okay. And D1-425, do you recognize everyone in that photo?
Yes.
I'm just going to ask that you do the same for 1-426. You recognize the people in that photo?
Yeah.
And 1-427. And 1-428.
Yep.
And 1-429. Yes?
Yes.
And
sorry.
1-430.
Yes.
Okay. Now these photos I showed you, did they accurately depict photos of your family?
Yeah.
And you recognize all the individuals in these photos?
Yes.
Okay, permission to publish?
Do we have a time frame of when those pictures were taken?
Just generally speaking, what would you say the time frame of these photos were?
Most of them are after 2008 or 9, but there's one, I was probably 13.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of those pictures are around 2008 and 2000.
No, they were after that time because
After 2008.
yeah, Jesse and Sophia were born.
Okay, so can you just give us a
Okay, so I guess after like 2014 to 17.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to show what's first been marked as D1-424. And was this the oldest photo in the bunch?
Yeah, this is when I was younger,
Okay.
before they had kids.
And where was this photo taken?
We were at a hibachi restaurant in Mexico.
Okay.
Thank you.
And who's going from, let's say, left to right, who's in the photo?
It's my dad, me, my Aunt Jen standing. She's touching my Uncle Keith, and then my mom, and then my sister Marissa.
And I think, did you mention that, how often would you vacation with Keith and Jennifer and eventually their children?
At least once a year. It was, yeah, at least once a year. And then as I got older, we would go more places together.
And I'm going to next show what's been marked as D1-425. Can you tell us who's in this photo from left to right?
It's my mom, Susan, and we have Jesse, and then my dad, and he's holding Sophia. And that's for my mom's birthday, which would be in the summer.
Okay, this is your mom's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, like, approximately what year that was taken? It can be approximate.
I want to say at least 2012.
And I'm going to next show what's been marked as D1-426. And do you recognize who's in that photo?
Yeah, it's my dad and Jesse, and this is my dad's birthday at our house. Jesse loved birthday cake, so he would always be in the front.
You said this was your dad's birthday?
Yeah, my dad's birthday.
Okay. And whose house is this?
Mine.
All right. Now I'm going to show what's been marked as D1-427. Okay. And who's in this photo?
My dad and Sophia. And this is also at my house. Looks like it's Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
And D1-428. Can you tell us who's in this photo?
My dad and Sophia are in the front of the photo. And then it's the Pritchett's, Molly, and Sophie. And then they have a friend that is with, and I can't see who she's with.
And when you say the Pritchetts, are you referring to Stacy and Jim's children?
Yes.
That's who we heard from? Okay.
And this is at my pool.
Okay. And is there anything that you want to explain to the jury about just like the circumstances under which, was this one of the barbecues or something else?
Yeah, this was just a random barbecue that we had. It wasn't like a holiday or anything. But we used to always like to swim on my dad like that, so we would hold his shoulders and he would go under, and either we'd go under with him or, I don't know, Sophia would have at that time, but she would have floated at the top with him.
Okay. And I'm going to show what's been marked as D1-429. And who's in that photo?
My dad and Jesse.
And what are they doing?
They're on one of the, I don't know what exactly it is, but a machine that my uncle had for his lawn. So they're at my uncle's house.
Like a ride-on mower?
Yeah.
And is this at your uncle's house?
Yeah, my Uncle Keith's.
Okay. And lastly, I'm going to show what's been marked as D1-430. What can you tell us about this photo?
This is my dad and Jesse, and it looks like they're building a battleship together. And this is also at my house.
Thank you. Now, obviously, I think, were those the only photos ever taken of the family?
No.
Okay. Was that just a sample
Yeah.
of a few? Mm-hmm. All right. Did your family take a lot of photos?
Yeah.
And now, you mentioned that you would see your Keith and Jennifer and their family on average maybe once a week, right?
Yeah. As a whole. I would see them once a week, but I'd probably see my uncle more times a week.
Okay, what about, to your knowledge, what about your dad, Paul? How often would he see Keith when Keith see Paul? How often would they see each other?
Almost every day.
And what about their level of communication? To your knowledge, how often would they communicate?
Every day.
And how do you know this? What's your basis of knowledge?
I lived with my dad most of my life, so I was there for it.
And what are some of the things, to your knowledge, that they would do when they would see each other?
My uncle really liked to eat, so they would go out to eat a lot, whether it was lunch or dinner. But he would come over our house, or my dad would go over his house to help him with stuff, and we'd just hang out.
Was everything always pre-planned, or was sometimes
No.
it unannounced?
Yeah, my uncle would show up if he was free. He would, even with me, he would just be like, "Hey, are you around? I'm near the area. Let's go out to lunch."
And the level of contact between your dad and Keith, was it consistent as far as you knew?
Yeah, my whole life they were like that.
And you mentioned that they're very close personally. What about, are you aware of the businesses that they own together?
Yeah, they own 2 businesses together, Square One and EcoStar.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Approximately how long were they in business together?
My whole life.
And to your knowledge, did your dad and Keith often communicate specifically about the business?
Yes.
And during the course of the communications that they had, did you ever have the opportunity to observe any disagreements between them?
I mean, they were brothers, so they would fight like brothers, but they would work it out themselves.
When they had a disagreement, did it ever affect the family in any way?
No, if they were having a disagreement earlier that morning and we all had like plans to go out to dinner or something, it wouldn't change the fact nothing would be canceled. We'd still all go and everything was fine.
Did your families go out to lunch or dinner often?
Yeah.
And now just briefly, with respect to Corey, how did he fit into the family dynamic, as far as you know?
I mean, he's their younger brother, but he would come around occasionally. It really just depended on what he had going on in his life at that time.
And did Corey have any ownership in the businesses?
No.
Now, focusing on 2018 specifically, just to orient ourselves, in 2018, how old were you?
I was 26.
And how old was your sister?
23.
What about your dad?
51.
And so that would make Keith.
50.
And how old was Corey?
He was the same age as my Aunt Jen, so 45.
And focusing on 2018 also for a moment, we heard a little bit about this. Were your parents experiencing any marital issues?
Yeah.
Despite that, did you still do things as a family?
Yeah, my dad would still cook us dinner or lunch, whatever it was. We would still eat together as a family. We'd still go out to dinner as a family. We'd all hang out still as a family. There's more between them.
So as far as the family dynamic generally as a family, did it change anything?
No.
Now,